morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Welcome. Bienvenidos to the 40 Under 40 Awards for 2020. My name is Luzelia Caballero, and I'll be your host this morning. We're coming to you virtually, as you can see, to celebrate this year's honorees, and we thank you for joining us live on this YouTube stream. Please share the link you see on your screen with friends and family, and be sure to engage on social media at hashtag THCC40Under40. We have a full program for you today with presenters, the keynote speaker, Coach Adia Barnes, and the honorees themselves. We will recognize the Mentor of the Year midway through, and be sure to stay until the end for the announcement of Man and Woman of the Year. Alrighty, folks, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors, Snell and Wilmer, the University of Arizona, the Arizona Daily Star, the JW Marriott Star Pass Resort, Wells Fargo, and Two Busy Gals. We're grateful for the ongoing support of our corporate members whose partnership help us continue to serve our members and the community. We extend a special thanks to the staff of the Arizona Daily Star for the production of the commemorative 40 Under 40 program. Daryl Durham, Heather Locke, and Alexis Walters. Thank you to the chairwoman of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Carla Morales, to the 40 Under 40 committee for their work in selecting this year's class of 2020, Joe Kroger of Snell and Wilmer, Zach Yenzer, Executive Director of the Tucson Young Professionals and 2019 Man of the Year, RJ Saavedra, Allison Duffy, President and owner of the Silverado Technologies and Woman of the Year for 2019, and Daryl Durham, Market Development Director of the Arizona Daily Star. All righty, here we go. Our first presenter is Joe Kroger, Managing Partner for the Tucson office of Snell and Wilmer. Joe, thank you so much for being here and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining us. It's a real honor to be here with all of you this morning. 40 Under 40 is one of my favorite days of the year. Snell and Wilmer is honored to have been the presenting sponsor of these awards since their very first year 15 years ago. We decided to partner with 40 Under 40 at its inception because it embodies the exact same values we embody at our law firm: excellence, hard work, commitment, and service to the community. For 15 years, these awards have recognized the future leaders of our community. We welcome the 2020 40 Under 40 class. I also have a personal history with these awards. I was named 40 Under 40 10 years ago in 2010. I definitely did not get Man of the Year. Just 2 years later, my wife was honored as Woman of the Year. Do you know how hard it is to win an argument when your wife can just look at you and say, well, I won Woman of the Year? I can't remember. Did you ever win Man of the Year? So I have that to live with for the rest of my life. And then 2 years after that, my wife's brother receives Man of the Year. I kid you not. So for those of you keeping score out there in the 40 Under 40 world, I am the third most successful person in my immediate family. So I've got that to talk about at Christmas. It's been a strange year, a hard year. And thinking about today's challenging environment makes me think about leadership in difficult times and reminds me of a story from my own law firm that I recently heard for the first time. And it is a reminder that small, courageous acts can have massive consequences. Many of us today may not know this, but in the 1950s, Arizona was as segregated as the South. While Phoenix welcomed Black artists and athletes, they could not eat or sleep in its celebrated hotels and resorts. Marian Anderson was a renowned Black opera singer who had performed for millions around the world. Yet when she came to Phoenix, she had to stay in private homes because none of our resorts would allow her to stay there. Bud Jacobson was a young white associate at Snell and Wilmer and an avid opera fan. When he learned that Ms. Anderson could not stay at any Phoenix resort, he was appalled, and he decided he must do something about it, even if that meant personal cost to himself. You see, Bud, while just a young associate, worked for Frank Snell, the founder of our firm, the largest in Arizona even back in the 50s. Frank Snell was one of the state's leading lawyers, and he just so happened to personally represent nearly all of the city's most prestigious and swankiest resorts. Bud marched into Frank's office and announced that he intended to visit Frank's resort clients to demand an end to segregation. And if they did not do so immediately, he would lead demonstrations and boycotts supported by Black, Hispanic, Asian, and white community leaders. Frank Snell stayed quiet for what must have seemed an eternity. Then he picked up his pipe and lit it. Hey, it was the 50s. Then Frank peered at Bud through the smoke and simply said, "You go do that, Bud." Between Bud's persistence and Frank's behind-the-scenes maneuvering, Phoenix's resorts were quickly open to all races. And that desegregation movement quickly spread to other Phoenix accommodations, public accommodations. All because a young attorney had the courage and selflessness to take a stand. Bud would later become a giant in the legal industry, which I guess should not surprise anyone. That is leadership. And I had the honor of helping to judge this year's 40 under 40 class. And I know that is the type of leadership that you all have. This community in this time more than ever desperately needs your leadership. Being named 40 under 40 is not just an honor. It is a collective recognition of this group as influencers, difference makers in our community. You have each impacted this community with the amazing work that you've done to date. And that cannot stop here today. I hope that each of you will take this award, not only as validation for your past efforts, but as a moral imperative to go forward and continue to do the good and impactful things that you are doing in this community for years to come. We celebrate you today. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much, Joe, for those inspirational words showing that perseverance, persistence, courage, doing the right thing, stepping up will make our community better and create and shape leaders for tomorrow. All right, folks, it's my pleasure to introduce our next presenter, Juan Ciscomani, the Senior Advisor for the Regional and International Affairs Office of Arizona for Governor Doug Ducey. He's here to bring a message to the honorees for the Governor's Office. Muy buenos días y muchísimas gracias por acompañarnos para reconocer a los 40 homenajeados. Gracias por estar aquí, Juan.
Gracias, Luz Delia. Un placer estar con ustedes. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. This is one of my favorite events. I agree with what it just said. This is an event that highlights the best of our community. I want to thank Luz Delia for the introduction, of course, Isabel for this event and for the invitation. The sponsors as well, and a very warm hello and hola from Governor Doug Ducey, who I'm here to represent. And you will all shortly be receiving a commendation on behalf of Governor Ducey, congratulating you for the achievement that you have reached today and for all your accomplishments for our local community here in Tucson. I know firsthand the work that goes behind today's prestigious event and the awardees. I'm a former member of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Before I joined the governor's team in 2015, I had been with the chamber for almost 4 years. So I know firsthand the kind of work and the attention that goes into selecting the honorees for this event. I also know the time and work and effort that is put in by the nominators to nominate the right people for this event. And, so the recognition that you're receiving here today is well earned. I know that you had to receive support from those around you in form of nominations and support and letters, and obviously the work that you've done yourselves to be in this position. So please enjoy it and that you've accomplished. And it's not for yourself that you've accomplished these achievements. It's really for the community. As you look around, especially in today's moments and age and what we're going through, we are in need of leadership. And that leadership can look in so many different ways. And as I look at the list of the 40 awardees today, it's impressive, the diversity and the background and even the age diversity, which the selection happened. And when I look at that, I know many of you on the list, I'm meeting some of you for the first time, but I know firsthand of the work that many of you have done. And it's really improved the community as we all move forward. I happen to work at the state level with part of the duties in Southern Arizona as well, and on the border and international relations. That's what I handle for the governor. And when I look at some of the work that you've all done in that area, it's really a partnership. It's a partnership between the private sector, with what the state government can do, what the federal government can do, what the local governments can do as well, and obviously community leaders like yourselves. So this really is a partnership that we all work on together. And I just want to say once again, congratulations to everyone. I'm also an alum of this award session. In 2009, I was awarded 40 under 40, and there was I also was not the man of the year, but I far from it. But I was happy to be part of that group, and I still have many close friends that I met actually at the events that led up to that event. So I just want to say congratulations once again. Felicidades por todos los logros. Nuestra comunidad es una comunidad muy especial, es una comunidad única. Tucson es una comunidad inclusiva que apoya y da la bienvenida a todo aquel que quiere ser parte de ella. We are a great community that you're all a part of, and that I happen to be living here in Tucson, from Tucson, and I'm happy to just be able to represent Governor Ducey today and say felicidades, congratulations. Please keep up the good work. Much of the work that you may do may not be noticed, but at the end of the day, it does come across. And this recognition of today is really just to prove that good work gets noticed, and it's at the right time recognized as well. So thank you again for the time. On behalf of the governor, on behalf of the state of Arizona, Isabel, gracias. Luz Delia, back to you. Thank you.
Gracias, Juan. Thank you so much. Y un recordatorio para todos los honrados hoy. A reminder for all of those honorees to savor the moment and keep doing the good work you're doing. It will pay off. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for the recognition of this year's class of 2020 to Juan and acknowledging their contributions. Now we're going to go ahead and hear from the chairwoman of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Carla Morales, and John D. Orlando from the Arizona Daily Star, whose organizations have worked together to bring you this very event since 2012. Let's go ahead and hear from them now.
Good morning. My name is Carla Morales, and as the chairwoman for the Tucson Hispanic Chamber, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to this morning's event. Since 2005, 40 Under 40 has highlighted and celebrated our up-and-coming young professional leaders. Today, we celebrate our future CEOs, our future board presidents, and our impactors in our community. While we would traditionally celebrate in a business breakfast, today we have pivoted, taking into consideration our community's health and safety first. We appreciate you all joining us this morning. In 2012, the Arizona Daily Star invited the Tucson Hispanic Chamber to take part of this event. Since then, we have participated in the selection committee, planning the event, and of course, keeping our alumni network. We thank you all for joining us this morning, and we congratulate all of our honorees.
The Arizona Daily Star has been part of this tradition since 2005. This year, we come to you in a virtual format, hosting the event in partnership with the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and sponsors. Today, we will recognize individuals in our community who excel in their careers and make a personal impact on the community through volunteerism and service. You will hear from them today in their own words, who they are and what they value. We are confident you will see and hear what we already know. The future is bright. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate these remarkable individuals.
The future is very bright. Thank you so much to both of you. As shared by Carla Morales, chairwoman of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we could not be together this year as is custom for this time-honored event. However, we ask that you mark your calendars for December 2021, where we hope to be back at the JW Marriott Star Pass. In the meantime, let's watch this message from Dan Caraher, Director of Sales and Marketing at the JW Marriott Star Pass Resort and Spa. We thank them for the ongoing tradition of hosting this event. Stick around, you're going to want to see this.
Greetings and welcome from the beautiful JW Marriott Star Pass here in sunny Tucson, Arizona. I am Dan Caraher, the Director of Sales and Marketing here at this amazing resort, and I have the pleasure to have worked with the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for the last 6 or 7 years and hosting particularly the 40 Under 40 breakfast. And this is such an amazing event, and we're excited to be involved once again this year, although virtually. We'll have one of the watch parties with us here this year, but we'll look forward to coming back next year with a full crowd of 400 to 600 guests, and look forward to seeing you then. We're coming to you today from our Salud patio, famous for our tequila toast. So we've been open all along and look forward to having you come join us again in the future. So we look forward to your continued patronage of the JW Marriott Star Pass and working with the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Thanks so much, Dan. Loving the bolo tie. All right, folks. Well, we send a heartfelt thank you to Dan and all his team at the JW Marriott Star Pass. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Coach Adia Barnes, Arizona's head women's basketball coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Adia Barnes, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's just an amazing event, so I really appreciate it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So the first thing, I just want to talk a little bit about my journey, how I got here, what I value as a leader, because there's so many amazing leaders out there. So I'm probably not teaching anybody anything they don't know, but just kind of how it started and my love for Tucson and how I chose Tucson and Arizona twice. So from San Diego, decided as a college athlete to come to Tucson, obviously to play women's basketball just a couple years ago. And, I didn't know throughout my journey if I would ever be sitting in this seat. I never had aspirations to coach. Didn't know. I knew I wanted to play basketball in college, but back years ago, there wasn't a professional league. It didn't evolve until my junior year in college. So played basketball in college. When I had the opportunity to possibly play pro, I said, okay, who wouldn't want to play basketball and dribble ball for a living and get paid to do it? So then I kind of set my goals on being a professional player. So was drafted to the WNBA, played overseas, had a long professional career. At the end of my career, kind of figuring out, what do I love? What inspires me? What do I want to do to make a difference and impact? Well, you kind of come at a crossroads when you're a player, because getting used to playing for so many years, you're kind of used to a lifestyle. Then you have to have the harsh reality of you have to stop that one day. You're never going to play forever. That's kind of hard. So I kind of said, well, what are my passions? What do I love to do? Well, I knew I loved basketball. I knew I loved to impact people. I knew I loved relationship, community, those things I loved as a player. So I said, I'm going to go try to coach. And I didn't know if I would end up coaching. I didn't know what that would look like. I also liked broadcasting too. I still did broadcasting. So I kind of just said, let me try it. If I don't love it, then I'm not going to do it. So started to coach and just got that itch just got bigger and bigger and just loved it. The things I loved about coaching was I'm able to impact someone, like I'm able to impact people daily. I'm able to use basketball as a tool, as a vehicle to teach. And I'm able to mentor young women and inspire them and be someone for them that I wish I would have had when I was younger. So I loved coaching. And I was at Washington for a couple of years. I was at Washington for 5 years, actually. And then I got the phone call from Arizona. Now, going back then, Arizona had not been successful for a while. Arizona was, the program was struggling. A lot of people, my close mentors and friends said, don't take that job. If you take that job, you only get a head coaching opportunity once. If you fail, you'll never get it again. It's a very hard job. They haven't had success in 10 years. I heard all these bad things. And I said, why did I choose Arizona? What did I love about this place? What did I love about the community? And so I just took a leap of faith. And I said, I'm not going to listen to everybody. I don't care for 300 in the RPI. I'm going to go for it. So I took the job. Greg Byrne hired me here, took the job, and we were not good my first year. We did not have a sense of community. No one really knew us. I remember my first 3 months on the job, I did not hear one good thing about U of A women's basketball. And I remember I took that kind of personal because I was a player here. Like, I have pride in the school. This is like my heart's here. And I heard all these awful things. So I said, well, what can I control right away? What can I do to make a difference here? I knew that I couldn't control, like us. We weren't just going to obviously become star players and skilled right away. So I said, well, I can control how we are in the community. I can control how people perceive us. I can control those things. And I'm going to build a community. We're going to be all-stars in the community. We may not be all-stars on the court, but we'll be all-stars in the community. So we went out, we started building community. And then I wasn't inviting everybody to our games my first year because it wasn't something I think that people would want to see. So I didn't do that. I kind of waited for that part. And so started to go out there, but then started to improve as a program, started to get different recruits, started to sign like our first McDonald's All-American, all those things. But I'd say the first most important thing, and this is going to probably relate to, a lot of the 40 and the 40 nominees, is the culture. When you are taking over a program, when you are taking over a business, when you're a CEO or you're in politics, whatever, you have to establish an all-star culture. And that was the most challenging things, but that was one of the most important things. So the culture was everything. And that took time. It didn't happen right away. We didn't have a good culture. We didn't have confidence. We were so used to losing. We had a losing mentality. We didn't have a tremendous amount of support because of the culture. So started to work on it daily. Some difficult times, a lot of adversity. My second year, we were awful. I think we won 6 games, 2 Pac-12 games. We're not good, but I knew that was a part of the process, a part of the journey. So when I think, it was funny because I don't sit and think like, oh, how do I lead? I just kind of lead off of what I feel. So I had to sit and write down like, how do I lead? What's my style? And I kind of compartmentalize these in a couple of things. So when I lead with gratitude and love. I'm not saying you love every second of it, you love everybody, but you love and you push people because you care about them. I think players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's kind of cliche, but that's very true. If you don't care about them, they're not going to run through a wall for you. So I lead with gratitude, compassion, and, authenticity. I'm myself. I can't be someone else. I can't coach like someone else. I have to be authentic. I have to be myself. I have to be true to myself. And I have to also live it for them to follow it. They have to see me as a role model. They have to aspire to want to follow me. And, I wrote some notes down. It's honesty. I'm honest. And I think there's a lot of coaches where you don't tell the truth. You may tell players something they want to hear, but I'm honest. I'm honest through the recruiting process. I'm honest through it, and sometimes it's constructive. It's maybe they're not good enough at something, but it's honest feedback. It's not like, oh, you're going to play if you work hard. The reality is everybody works hard. That's a standard, but that doesn't mean you play. So the reality is this person's better. What you have to do to get there, what you have to do to to help the team is really big. The other thing I wrote down I thought was pretty important is vulnerable. I am vulnerable. I didn't realize that's my style of leadership, but it's just that's part of being authentic. There is a lot of stuff I've gone through as a coach here, and I have not been afraid to share it. And I don't know if you guys know, but I just had a baby 11 weeks ago. Actually, she's 12 weeks today. So I had a baby 3 months ago, 12 weeks ago. It's not easy. So I voiced to my team, okay, if I'm running a little, closer, I'm coming right before practice now. Just so you guys know, I'm breastfeeding before I leave. I'm doing it here. I'm honest about where I'm at, what I'm doing, because it's just me and I have to be me. So I always say, be who you want them to be. I want them to see that you can be a mom. You can be a wife. You can be a role model. You can do great things, and you can do them all. Is it hard? Yes, it's hard. But everything worth it is hard. That's just how it is. I hate when I see women in my profession, they think about, oh, can I do this? Oh, can I do that? You can. Is it challenging? Yes, everything's challenging. You build a community, you get the support, but you go do it. People don't know. I'm up last night breastfeeding twice. But I still come do my job with the same look consistent. And just do what I need to do. And you can do it all, and you can be great at all. And that's one of the things I role model for the players. The third thing I'd say, or probably the second bullet point of things fit under, is preparation. I talk a lot in the program about meticulous preparation. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready. Prepared. It provides confidence. It trumps pressure. And it's your separator. So I put a quote that I want to say, be there before you get there. I've always had a vision of what I expect, and I'm prepared for that because I know I put the work in. And I think in difficult times, you fall back to how well you prepared. So difficult times, if you're prepared, it trumps all that. You don't feel the pressure. I don't go on games for and then probably we're a better team now, so I don't feel as much pressure. But you would think I'd feel more pressure now because they're ranked number 6. I don't, because I can only control what I can control. They're 18 to 22-year-olds, so I just have them meticulously prepared, and we do the best. And if we can sit in the mirror and know that we did our best, then I'm happy with what we've done. And then the last thing I wrote was, how do you respond when things hit the fan? Like when that quote, when SHIT hits the fan. So how do you respond? When things are hard right now. COVID. I wasn't prepared for COVID. None of us were. It is what it is. I'm doing stuff virtually. There's a lot of other stuff, but how do I respond? Do I crumble? Do I show that I'm weak, or do I just figure out a way and control what I can control? And that's what I do. I control what I can control. I can't control coronavirus. I can't control that we're losing kids. I have someone in quarantine last night. I'm dealing with it last night. I can't control that, but what I control is how my team responds. I can control how prepared they are, so the next person steps up. And then the last thing I want to share with you guys is just kind of my team and what the most important thing and how leadership on my team is. The first thing as a team is we need to accomplish the mission. Our mission is to win, and it's to win the right way, and it's to beat our standards. So we accomplish a mission. That's the most important. That might mean you have to tell someone, hey, you're not getting the job done. Whatever it takes to win the game, to accomplish a mission. The second thing is take care of your teammates. You pull someone else along. Something happens, you have your teammates back. You take care of each other. The last thing is hold everybody to the standard. And I think that's the most challenging thing as a leader. It is very hard, even as our leaders on our team, to hold each other accountable. It is very hard to me to hold people accountable and tell the truth because it's difficult conversations. But as a leader, you have to have them. So we accomplish the mission. We take care of our teammates. We hold everybody to the standard. The standard isn't working hard because the standard is working hard. That's not a goal. It's like what you do. So that's like not even we don't talk about that because that's the expectation here. But the other things we do talk about a lot. And I think that's what's provided some good leadership. Without leadership, we would not win. Without authentic leaders, and people lead in different ways. And it's my job to kind of develop those. I can't just say to young women, you have to lead. I have to teach them and give them the tools. So, I heard this a lot in the messaging before, just a couple of minutes ago. We need leadership in so many different ways. We need different types of leadership. And that was so evident this year. And leading is hard. It's not easy. But I think that you have to, the greatest leaders bring out the best in people, and people want to follow you. So when people are asking, a lot of questions, I'm just like, well, it's just kind of me. It's just what I do. But, I think that you guys are making a difference. You guys are here because you lead in your community, you lead in your field. So just really proud of everyone here. Keep on doing it. Tucson is a great community. It deserves the best. And, I hope women's basketball reflects that. And I hope that people are loving to follow us in what we do because I love this place.
Well, thank you so much, Coach. As a fellow San Diegan, I hope all of your skills rub off on me. And I should have introduced you like this because you're such an inspiration to so many people. And I hear a recurring theme right now: perseverance, courage, determination, patience, lots of it, because things don't start out 100% good all the time. So we thank you for that. And I'm going to quote you on this: be authentic, folks. If you're watching right now, that's the one thing that really takes people a long way, because the more authentic you are, and again, a recurring theme, the more people see that you're genuine and your message carries that much further. I mean, you answered a lot of questions. My only question for you would be, what challenge would you pose to the 40 honorees?
Make the difference. So for me, it's important to be someone who inspires change. So the way I feel about my leadership is, if I inspire one woman to go out there, make a difference, or change her life, then I did good. I'm never gonna win. I'm never gonna win enough games. Everybody's always gonna have something to say. It's just kind of how this job is. But I challenge everybody to not be afraid to step out of their comfort zone, not be afraid to go and pull someone along, and don't be afraid to fail. You are going to fail. We all fail. I've failed so many times. I make mistakes almost every day, but I learn from them. So pull someone along, lead, be authentic. Don't be afraid of failure. You will fail, but you'll learn from it, and continue to inspire the next generation. That's what I do. And that's what everybody, in this Zoom, this virtual call does. So continue to do it big. And we desperately need leadership.
Thank you so much, Coach Adia Barnes, for being with us this morning and for those inspirational words. I know they mean so much to so many, and they do go a long way. All right, folks, and for those of you that may have just joined us now, we just wrapped up a Q&A with our keynote speaker, Coach Adia Barnes, who spoke about leadership and leaving an impact on your community. Next, we're going to hear from our presenter, Isabel Georgelos, and the 2019 Man and Woman of the Year, Zach Yenzer and Allison Duffy, as they introduce the first 20 honorees. Ending this first segment with a message from Franklin Covey, sharing a gift with the 40 under 40 honorees. And at this time, as you can see her up on screen, I would like to invite Isabel Georgelos, interim president and CEO of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Buenos días, Isabel. Gracias por estar aquí. Realmente un placer.
Gracias, Luz Delia. La Cámara de Comercio Hispana de Tucson está orgulloso de estar aquí llevando a cabo este evento para nuestra comunidad. Gosh, I am like speechless with all the people that are presented before me. The Tucson Hispanic Chamber is so proud to be hosting this with our partners, our sponsors. Not only that, but just to hear the messaging that is already begun in this virtual event. Joe and Juan speaking of legacy and, just being part of this close-knit community. And Carla and John really speaking to the partnership that is established. And because the beauty is we don't do anything alone, and collaboration is such a wonderful way to work. And of course, the coach, wow. I was taking notes. As you mentioned, we will end the segment of the honoree presentations with a message from Franklin Covey. And I would like to take a moment to thank Justin Boggs, one of the honorees, who arranged not only this message, but a special gift that will be received by the honorees and presented by Kurt Garbett, Managing Director of Franklin Covey. So that'll be to come.
All right, Isabel, without further ado, take it away with the first 5 honorees.
Absolutely, my pleasure. All right, let's start with David Arellano, Dean of Enrollment at Pima Community College, born and raised in Tucson. David is proud product of Sunnyside Unified School District, a first-generation Latino college graduate. He earned an associate's degree from Pima Community College, bachelor's and master's from NAU, and a doctoral candidate at Baylor University. Jose Arias, business banker and vice president at First Citizens. He holds a bachelor's in business administration from Eller College of Management at the University of Arizona and a master's in business administration from the University of Phoenix. Thomas Bogart is a native Tucsonan who has driven to make a difference in the community. Through positive engagement, he creates environments and relationships that add value. Justin Bogus works with Franklin Covey, a global training consulting firm, helping the organization create positive cultures where people feel they are winning and get results. And rounding out the 5, Pamela Boykin, third-generation Tucsonan, a University of Arizona graduate, master's from Northern Arizona University, and currently a senior academic advisor for the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. Let's watch.
My name is David Adiano. I'm the Dean of Enrollment Management at Pima Community College. I'm a first-generation Pima alumni, proud Tucsonan, and an advocate for all learners in our community. From a childhood dream, I always dreamt about going to outer space. I read a lot of space and science fiction books. I would say I'm your typical Star Wars geek. And while I'm not an astronaut today, I do help others reach their outer space and discover themselves through education. And a message for my community would be, as a first-generation Latino college graduate, education is so important to our economic mobility, and it's vital that we keep learning in our ever-changing environment. And that's why I'm so passionate about my job. At Pima, we're a launching pad for everyone's goals and dreams.
Hello, my name is Jose Arias. My childhood dream was to find the same sense of purpose my parents felt when I was growing up. When my dad was asked about what he did for a living, instead of saying, "I'm a farmer or a grower," he would say, "We feed families in Mexico and in other countries with the food grown in our farm." And we felt a great deal of pride in that as a family. So I knew from a very young age, I had to feel that same sense of purpose in whatever I chose to do when I grow up. I'm currently a vice president business banker with First Citizens Bank, and I provide financing and banking solutions to business owners in our community as a financial partner and trusted advisor. I'm also on the board of 3 nonprofits: Greater Tucson Leadership, Tucson Youth Development, and ACE and YouthWorks Charter High School. My message to the community would be to be mindful of the impact we have on the lives of the people we interact with. I've always believed that if you work with a sense of purpose, you will create a positive chain reaction, enabling yourself to find inspiration in what you do for a living every single day. That level of commitment you put to the people you help may inspire others to also find inspiration on what they do every single day.
Hi, everybody. Thomas Bogart here. Very excited, thrilled, and humbled to be a part of this year's 40 Under 40 class. like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a Tucson native, born and raised here in Southern Arizona, went through the Marana Unified School District, and then on to the University of Arizona and Pima Community College, and got a couple of degrees from those fine institutions. Growing up, I wanted to save the world. An avid fan of National Geographic, I figured I was going to save the forest and stop the polar ice melt. And then I got into graduate school and realized I wanted to help save people as opposed to the planet, or in addition to the planet. And so I started working with human subject related research and education. I currently work at Pima County JTED in career and technical education, trying to help move secondary students to college and career. If there's one thing that I think the world needs more than anything right now, it's to trust in the positive intentions of others and to work together to find common ground. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Justin Bogus. I've been in Tucson for 8 years now, and my childhood dream, I thought I wanted to be a geologist. I've always thought it was interesting how the Earth started recording our history before we ever had written speech or communication. But today, I work with organizations to help develop personal effectiveness skills in individual contributors, develop leaders at all levels, and help organizations execute on their most strategic initiatives for their strategy to be successful. With Franklin Covey, I'm a client partner. If I had one message for Tucson, it would be a quote from Dr. Stephen Covey. If you want to make small changes, focus on your behaviors. If you want to make quantum leap changes, focus on your paradigms.
Let's meet our second group. Paris Chacon, owner of Affordable Paralegal Solutions, LLC, has made a measurable impact on the community over the last 10 years as a selfless, passionate advocate for individuals needing access to the legal system. Ben Collinsworth, early childhood educator and graduate of NAU. Ben's passion for play and performance in the classroom has driven his teaching career. Cassandra Pio, program director, administrative faculty for the online MSW program in the School of Cultural and Family Psychology Center, Director of Community Engagement for the College of Public Health. And next, Dr. Felina Cordova Marx, postdoctoral research fellow at the University of Arizona's Cancer and Center, Director of Community Engagement for the College of Public Health Cohort, COVID-19 Research Study, and chairperson of the Hopi Education Endowed Fund Board. Nicole Dahl holds dual roles of creative director and general manager for Hotel McCoy, who exceeded her first year's goals by establishing itself as a critical pillar in the Tucson arts community with commission-free gallery, art-filled guest rooms, a mural-covered exterior, and interactive social media content. Let's watch.
I'm Ben Collinsworth with Flowing Wells Unified School District. My childhood dream was to be a storyteller. If I ever read a great book or saw an amazing movie or even heard a hilarious joke, I could never just retell it. I had to act it out. That's when my passion for performance really began. And today, I'm an early childhood educator. I spend my days surrounded with young children who are bursting with stories of their own to tell. I've been able to take my passion for performance and blend it together with the skill for play that is so important in early childhood. My message to our community is that the best things about stories in real life, they never really end. Some chapters may be darker than others, but with kindness and trust, we can write the next one together.
Throughout my childhood, I was really engaged in community service and holding leadership positions, even from a young age. Fast forward all these years later, and I am now the program director for the MSW program, as well as administrative faculty in the School of Cultural and Family Psychology at Pacific Oaks College. My academic area of expertise is the socio-emotional awareness of our healthcare workforce and their support systems. I couldn't be studying something more relevant given our current COVID-19 crisis. I know that all of us, this cohort of 40 under 40, is committed to creating the social change that we want to see in our community and beyond. Special thanks to the Hispanic Chamber for this award, as well as the support of my partner, Michael Peel, class of 2015, 40 under 40. Thank you.
In 4th and 5th grade, we had this classroom assignment to present on what we want to be when we grow up. And I presented that I wanted to be a philanthropist because I knew that was someone who made a lot of money and used that money to do good in the world. And while I haven't quite reached that career goal yet, I do implement that philosophy in my career currently. As I've grown and become a leader, I always make sure to check myself and make sure I'm amplifying other voices and elevating other people. And currently, as the director of Hotel McCoy, that philosophy is in our mission and values. We want to be a beneficial company in every sense of the word. We want our employees to have a healthy and positive workplace. We want our guests to have an excellent experience. We want our community to see Hotel McCoy as an asset, and we want our investors to get a good return. And I think that's really, to me, what a career in leadership is all about, just bettering the world in any way that you can.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to Lisette Davey, who has created numerous programs for students to learn and practice cultural humility. Bill De La Rosa, who is currently pursuing his doctorate from the University of Oxford as a Clarendon Scholar. Marlene de Leon, who is proficient in 5 languages and recently fulfilled a Fulbright scholarship in Italy investigating the deaf immigrant experience. Pedro de Velasco, who studied law in Mexico, where he began his social work with migrant communities, and Stephen Dudley Jr., the youngest in history director of the Arizona Poison and Drug Information Center, who graduated from the University of Arizona College of Pharmacy in 2015 before going on to complete a toxicology fellowship.
Hello, my name is Lisette Davey. I am an employee at the University of Arizona and I work in the Honors College. And I'm so happy and honored to be here today for the 40 Under 40. I know that this is a really big deal for me because as a child, I always imagined being a part of something bigger than myself. And I didn't know exactly what that would look like, but today it's brought me here. And what I wanted to share with the community is this idea of the ripple effect, that everything you do has some sort of ripple impact on something else. And I'm so lucky to be a part of the Tucson community where I get to make that ripple every day through social justice work and connecting students to the community.
Ever since I was a young boy, I wanted to become an attorney to help advance and advocate for people's rights. Right now, I'm pursuing a PhD at the University of Oxford before receiving my law degree at Yale Law School. And as I reflect on my upbringing, as the son of 2 Mexican immigrants who sacrificed everything so that I could pursue my dreams and be where I am today, my message to the community is to never lose hope, to always fight for what you believe in, and to never forget where you came from and the people who helped you along the way. We believe in you.
My name is Marlene de Leon, and as a child, I dreamt about learning as many languages as possible. Today, I'm a quintilingual as I speak also Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and American Sign Language. My experience consists of working and researching with the deaf, immigrant, and indigenous communities, both in the Southwest and in Latin America. Last year, I received my first master's from Stanford University, and this year, I fulfilled a Fulbright Research Scholarship in Italy, where I investigated the deaf immigrant experience. Now, I am working towards my MBA and MPP in education policy through a dual degree at Vanderbilt University. My message to the community is twofold. First, find your unique sense of authenticity and intrepidness, and above all, strive to carry on with as much impeccability as possible, even during our trying times. Although these endeavors are unique to everyone, through them, we can collectively create a new holistic paradigm.
Hello, my name is Pedro de Velasco. When I was a kid, I dreamed of becoming a superhero. As I grew up, I learned that you don't actually need superpowers to help others, but willingness and commitment. And that to make the world a better place, small changes do make a ton of difference. Social justice took more and more into my mind, and I find my cause in immigration. I work as a community organizer for Chicanos por la Causa. My role is to promote immigrant integration and integral community development in Southern Arizona, and to promote and raise awareness on the importance of immigrants into our community. This year has been difficult without a doubt. It tested our ability to respond to a global crisis, but also our ability to care for others. And I think that is the big lesson learned. We cannot look only after ourselves, but we must help each other overcome and prevail as a whole.
Hey, my name is Steve Dudley. I'm the director of the Arizona Poison and Drug Information Center. And my childhood dream, like a lot of kids, I think, was to be a superhero. And once I accepted the fact that I couldn't fly or turn into a Super Saiyan, I figured I had to help people out the regular way, which led me down to a career of pharmacy and ultimately toxicology. My message to the community is, I think a lot of people want to see change. I think whether it's personally, professionally, or socially, people want change to happen. And I think the one consistent thing in that is that we have to be the change we want to see. If we wait for some other person or some other time to do it, it's not going to happen. So no matter how hard it is, no matter how small the change is, do it. You never know what kind of impact it'll have on you or someone who's watching you. Thanks.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. All of these leaders are making an impact in diverse areas of our community. Michelle Anabe has completed cross-disciplinary degrees in physiology, neuroscience, and sociology. Robin Glicksman is a doctor of behavioral health and is the chief clinical officer at Escalera Health. Lisbeth Gonzalez grew up on the Nogales-Sonora, Arizona border. She holds a BA in international studies focused on public health from the University of Arizona and a master's in humanitarian health from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Charlinda Hodley is an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation in Arizona. She is a doctoral candidate in the UA Center for the Study of Higher Education. Her research focuses on intertribal student engagement at a university Native American Student Center. Billy Hayes is the founder and president of Pedroza and Hayes Accounting and Consulting, serving the accounting needs of the community's small businesses and nonprofits.
My name is Michelle Anabe, and as a first-generation citizen and college student, I grew up in a Hispanic and Middle Eastern community where you're always reminded of your glass ceiling. I'm here to tell all women to never stop fighting for your dreams. There have been common themes in our American history where women, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that have shattered our glass ceiling and have given us the blueprints to arrive to our mountaintop. Having family that grew up in war-stricken areas at a young age, I realized the privilege and honor it is to live in the United States of America. As a child, I always aspired to be a servant leader, like our farmers, legislators, and most importantly, our veterans, who have laid down their lives to give me the opportunity to turn my childhood dreams into a reality. To this day, my dream is to become a physician for the people and reflect the ideals and ideologies of what make our country a melting pot of success.
My name is Robin Glicksman. Ever since I was a kid, I knew I always wanted to be in the behavioral health field doing therapy. I decided to pursue my education with a master's in social work from Arizona State University and also got my doctorate in integrated healthcare with a focus in behavioral health. I have done intake assessments, case management work for court order treatment, and individual and family counseling. I really found my calling through my education in doing administrative practices. I love the clinical operation, developing workflows and policies. I started Escalera Health 2 years ago, which is an adult integrated healthcare facility in Tucson. We provide psychiatry, primary care, and therapy. I oversaw the licensing, the compliance, and managing the physicians from the day-to-day operations. I really like having both perspectives of being a clinical liaison and therapist and also understanding the administrative practices that go into running the day-to-day operations of a clinic. We also started a COVID testing tent in March of 2020. So we've been doing that for the past several months, doing mobile testing, drive-up testing, antibody, COVID, rapid PCR testing. And on our mobile jobs, we test about 300 people per day. So it's been quite the adventure and I've learned so much and I'm really grateful to be honored today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lisbeth Gonzalez. As a child, I wanted to do so many things, but really what I wanted to do is change the world. Today, I work with the International Rescue Committee of Tucson as the health program manager, where I coordinate and oversee health and health education services. I am also working with the Pima County Health Department to provide mobile testing for the community at large in Tucson. So far, we've tested over 1,500 individuals. During this unprecedented time, it's very important, I feel, that we find humanity and compassion in all of us, and that we build our community back better.
Yate She'e Charlanda Hadli Yanashia. I'm a member of the Navajo Nation, and one of my childhood dreams was to become like my grandparents. My grandparents have always taught me to be a good relative to other people around me. And so currently, as a program coordinator senior, working in the Office of Multicultural Advancement, as well as an executive board member of the American Indian Alumni Club, my role is to always find a way to bring storytelling into spaces. And so my message to the Tucson community is to always find a way to bring other voices to the table, find a way to celebrate our communities as well as our families.
Hello, my name is Billy Hayes with Pedrosa and Hayes Accounting and Consulting. My childhood dream was to be a professional baseball player. At Pedrosa and Hayes, we work with small businesses to help them accomplish their financial goals. I would first like to thank my wife, Rosie, for supporting me through all of this and everything I'm involved in. My passion for making the community a better place is based on an image of Tucson that is more equitable for everyone. I would like to continue to do everything in my power to accomplish that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kurt Garbett, and I am a managing director for the Pacific area here with Franklin Covey. It's a pleasure to join you, even if it's only via recording today, and congratulate each and every one of you on not only being nominated, but being selected by your local community and organizations there in your community to be part of the 40 Under 40 in Tucson. What a wonderful award and opportunity for each of you as you are growing in your careers. I hope that you were able to attend the workshop Leading at the Speed of Trust. Not only attend, but hope it really made a difference for you as you think about your role as a leader, your role in creating an environment of trust where individuals can thrive. As you remember from the workshop, if you're able to attend, when we operate in an environment of high trust, we're able to move faster. And as a result of us moving faster, our costs go down, right? So when trust is high, speed goes up and costs go down. When trust is low, as you know, speed slows down and costs go up. And as leaders, we have a tremendous impact on exactly what that culture looks like and the environment of trust that is created within our teams. We've included, for all of you, we've included in your gift basket a book, Leading at the Speed of Trust book. I hope that becomes a treasured part of your library. It contains the thinking of and research that Stephen M.R. Covey conducted for over 10 years, really trying to understand, is trust something that just happens? Or are there things that we can do that really build and create trust inside our organizations and our relationships on our teams? And what is that impact? Now, the reason we wanted to give you this gift is because we believe that the ability to develop a culture of trust isn't just a nice thing to have. Actually, it's what the best leaders in the world do. And if you look through history and through time, you'll see that as well. As you read it, I hope you'll pay close attention to what Stephen M.R. Covey calls the number one leadership behavior, and that's the ability to extend trust. And if I can for a minute, I'd like to invite each of you to think on your own career, the experiences that you've had, whether the organization you're currently with or maybe organizations that came before the one you're with. I want you to think about leaders that you had that extended trust to you. And what did that do for you? Leaders that saw something in you maybe that you didn't even see in yourself at the moment, that allowed you to take that step up, that they gave you the encouragement, the opportunity, and the space to grow and develop, even maybe when you didn't think you could. I know for my own self, I've had those type of leaders, and they haven't just had a small impact on my career or my outlook or how I view leadership. It's been monumental, almost exponential, the trust that they placed in me and the growth it allowed me to have. That's the opportunity all leaders have in front of them, is that opportunity to extend that trust, extending smart trust where it's appropriate, that allows others to flourish and thrive in their work environment. Congratulations once again. I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for your time and for your leadership. I'm sure you'll make an indelible mark on your organizations. Take care and have a great day.
Gosh, what a remarkable group of leaders we just met. And as you may have just heard Kurt Garbett mention, the 40 honorees receive a Leading in the Speed of Trust book in their WOW box with their awards and additional gifts. And I look forward to seeing all the honorees post their awards when they open their boxes. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I hope that you also hashtag THCC 40 under 40 when you do that. I'll be expecting that. So we all have mentors and people in our lives that make a noted impact, and these honorees are no different, which is why I am pleased to introduce our next presenter, Dr. Casey Urquidez with the University of Arizona, our education sponsor. We will hear from her now.
I'm honored to be here with you today to introduce the Mentor of the Year. Each class of 40 under 40 honorees is asked to submit nominations for Mentor of the Year, and we are pleased to continue this tradition. The judges face a very difficult task, as all the nominations tell moving stories of the impact that these leaders make in their communities and in the lives of the individuals we are honoring here today. These professionals and community leaders share one common thread: service to others. Today, it is my pleasure to announce the 40 under 40 Mentor of the Year, the Honorable Ranner C. Collins. Congratulations, Judge Collins. And up next is a brief message from his mentee, Isaac Rothschild.
Thankful to be included in this year's 40 under 40 honorees. I also have the additional privilege of announcing this year's Mentor of the Year. This year's Mentor of the Year grew up in Arkansas in the 1950s and 60s. He moved to Tucson for law school. After graduating, he joined the county attorney's office. He quickly earned the respect of attorneys on the other side, within his office, and the judges he practiced in front of for how he handled difficult situations. As a judge, he is a fair and just person. He understands that those that appear in front of him may be the most important day of their life. It's something that he communicates to those of us that are lucky enough to clerk for him. For those of us lucky enough to clerk for him, he's also an amazing mentor, always reaching out to discuss our lives professionally and personally, while also discussing the decisions that he's thinking about, both professionally and personally. He used his role as judge to create opportunities for those that he believes they'll be able to advance their career or create influence in the communities that he cares about. It's with great pleasure that I announce the 2020 Mentor of the Year, the Honorable Ranner C. Collins.
Thank you so much. Moving tribute to the pillar of our community. Thank you, Dr. Urquidez and Isaac Rothschild, for your words. And congratulations to the Honorable Ranner C. Collins. All right, folks, we want to thank our presenters who've joined us up to this point and all of you who are streaming this event live today. We are grateful to be here with you. As mentioned earlier, the health and safety of our community takes priority, and we all must do our part in keeping each other safe. Wow. The time went by fast. We're having so much fun. We hope you are having a lot of fun watching us from wherever you are on this live stream. We are now going to take a short intermission, and by short, I mean 5 minutes. Well, I should say 5 minutes. But you're going to want to stay here, not go anywhere, because we're going to be showing messages from friends and families to the honorees. So sit tight. No se muevan. Ahorita regresamos. We'll see you back in 5. Hey, welcome back. Bienvenidos de nuevo. Vamos a iniciar con la segunda parte de esta ceremonia. We're going to start with the second part of this ceremony, and all I can say is wow. Me dejaron con la piel chinita. ¿Cómo ves, Isabel? Qué orgullo poder reconocer a personas tan extraordinarias. What has been your favorite part so far?
Lucelia, no puedo escoger, todos se expresaron muy bien.
¿Verdad?
¿Verdad? I really enjoyed hearing them speak to their childhood memories, who they are today. Their messages were so inspiring.
I couldn't agree more. It's like each leader has their own personal touch that continues to inspire us to continue doing our part in making our community that much more beautiful, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't wait to see the next group.
Right? Well, now we're here to introduce the second group, are Isabel, John D. Orlando, Zach Yenzer, and Allison Duffy. We're also going to hear from Dr. Sherry Meeks, a past 40 under 40 honoree and Woman of the Year for 2018. Isabel, take it away.
Very good. Casey Hill, Chief Executive Officer of Greater Tucson Leadership, serves in Women at the Top, Vice President of Casa de la Luz Foundation, and Leadership Council for the Arizona University Lodestar Center for Philanthropy and Nonprofit Innovation. William Lanehart, PhD, DABMM, Assistant Professor of Pathology and Medicine in the University of Arizona College of Medicine, Medical Director of the Clinical and Molecular Microbiology Laboratory at Banner University Medical Center, Tucson, and Clinical Director of Infectious Diseases for Sonora Quest Laboratories. Carrie Lopez Howell, Executive Director for Sunnyside Foundation, has led a $60,000 emergency relief fund for SUSD families and raised $215,000 in digital divide support for students. Yvette Marie Margayan, licensed and board certified behavior analyst, BCBA, founder and CEO of ABA Consulting Group, Subsidiaries Academy for Autism and Autism Pediatrics, and Method Motivate. Adriana Martinez graduated magna cum laude with a bachelor's in accounting, MA in 2009 from the University of Arizona, joined the family business Casa Martinez, where she serves as president. Under her leadership, Casa Martinez Salsas has reached levels of success that include distribution in over 8,000 stores in the US and globally in over 10 countries. Let's watch.
My name is Casey Hill, and I am the CEO of Greater Tucson Leadership. And I grew up on a tobacco farm in rural Kentucky. And my childhood dream was to be a writer. And so when I got older, I went to school for journalism. And I spent 10 years in the journalism field on the sidelines, watching other people contributing to their community. And about 8 years ago, I decided that I didn't want to be on the sidelines anymore, that I really wanted to get involved and have an impact in a very positive way. And that's my message to people who are watching. It doesn't matter how small, get involved. Volunteer with a local nonprofit, really make a difference in your community, help a neighbor. We're all in this together, and we can really make a difference if we work together.
Hi, I'm William. As a child, I dreamed of becoming a medical doctor. Although I'm not a medical doctor today, I am a clinical microbiologist. I serve as the medical director of clinical and molecular microbiology at Banner UMC Tucson, and as an assistant professor of pathology and medicine at the University of Arizona College of Medicine. Above all else, I am the husband to a wonderful wife and father to 2 amazing children. The COVID-19 pandemic has been difficult for everyone, especially healthcare and public health workers. As we move into winter and the impending influenza season, listening to our public health officials and adhering to public health guidelines is absolutely necessary.
Hi, my name is Carrie Lopez Howell. When I was a little kid, I actually wanted to be an actress on Broadway, but now I'm doing something way better than acting on Broadway. I am the executive director of Sunnyside Foundation. Sunnyside Foundation serves our SUSD students, teachers, and now our families and the broader South Tucson community. My message for Tucson is this has been a tough year. But if we keep focusing on the things we can focus on and control, and we help our friends and family to our left and to our right,
we can make huge impact together.
Hi, my name is Yvette Marie Margayan, and I'm the CEO and Clinical Director of ABA Consulting Group and Autism Pediatrics. As a kid, I always wanted to be a part of NASA, and I was fortunate enough to live that dream in college while I was a part of the NASA Space Grant at the University of Arizona. One of the ways that I continue to stay connected with the scientific community is that at ABA Consulting, we create personalized curriculums for our kids, and they're very much STEM-based. So we really encourage a lot of our kids to go into the fields of engineering and science in the future. One message that I have for the community, just a little piece of advice, if you really want to reach your dreams, just write it down on a piece of paper, write down all of the steps necessary to reach each individual goal, and take the first baby step and go.
Hello, my name is Adriana Martinez. I am the president of Casa Martinez Food Company. My childhood dream. I always wanted to be successful, to be someone in life, to leave my mark. And of course, I've always wanted to have a family, get married, have my children, and be happy. Casa Martinez is a family-owned company. We make and distribute authentic Mexican salsas and cooking sauces in the retail stores across the country. We wanted to bring to the market something that was different, that was authentic, that was premium, and that tasted homemade. So we brought our Mexican salsas, and we're now in about 8,000 stores across the country. My message to the Tucson community is to all the young professionals that want to become entrepreneurs: don't be afraid. Follow your dreams, do it. It's worth the sacrifice, the effort, and the hard work. Go for it.
Our next group brings together an entrepreneur, a banker, a nonprofit, a policeman, and a lawyer. Here is Paul Mendoza from Vibin, Nick Menke from Bank of America, Mackenzie Neff of the American Heart Association, Barry Peterson from the City of Tucson, and Jill Perea from Snell and Wilmer.
Hi, my name is Paul Mendoza, and my childhood dream was to be a veterinarian. I actually love animals, and I know a lot of facts about animals as well. I'm the co-founder and creator of Vibin, where we focus on helping youth, and at the same time, we help small businesses and medium business here in our community in Tucson. I am completely honored to be nominated and with this great list of talents. So my message to the community is definitely the future in Tucson is bright. There's a lot of talent, and one of the things that I love about Tucson is actually our community, that we support each other and we're here for each other. So like we said, keep vibing.
Hello, my name is Nick Menke. A childhood dream of mine was to become an architect. Today, I'm a senior small business banker with Bank of America, and my job is to meet with clients, understand their companies, understand their business needs and priorities, as well as do what I can to help them achieve their goals. Small businesses are essential to any community, and I'm honored to be able to work with so many wonderful small business owners and their families. I'm very fortunate to be part of such a tight-knit community here in Tucson, where people are so vested in other people's ability and interest in succeeding, both personally and professionally. I want to thank everyone who has helped support me over the years. 2020 truly has been a tough year for so many, but as we come together in Tucson as we do, I think we'll be okay. Tucson's resilient, and I'm proud to be part of it.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Neff, and by day I am the Executive Director for the Southern Arizona Division of the American Heart Association. And by night, I am a fiance and mother of two, a 2- and a 3-year-old named Liliana and Paloma. I would love to share with you a childhood dream of mine. Coming from a small town in Iowa, I knew that there was a larger world out there, and I needed to explore, which I did, and landed here in our Tucson community. Something I'd like to leave you with is words from a former boss of mine, and that is to always assume the best of intentions. Living in a world that is so divided right now, if we continue to see the positivity and grow our relationships and build our trust, it will only strengthen our Southern Arizona community.
Hi, my name is Barry Peterson. I'm a police officer with the City of Tucson and have been since 2004. I currently work as a police officer in the City of Tucson, where I am a canine handler and a SWAT officer. A message to the Tucson community: I would just like to thank the City of Tucson for allowing me to serve for the last 16 years. I enjoy every minute of it. I'm proud to put this uniform on, and I'm proud to work for the city.
My name is Jill Perella, and I'm an attorney at Snell and Wilmer here in Tucson, Arizona.
My childhood dream was to be a writer, but I actually ended up becoming a lawyer where I use my writing skills every day. I practice bankruptcy law. I also have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old son, and I spend most of my time when I'm not working chasing them around. My message to Tucson would be thank you for providing me a home, a place to belong, a place to raise my children, and have a flourishing career. Thank you.
Here are Naleli Pimentel, a versatile entrepreneur, founder of Naleli Multimedia LLC, and CEO of TV4O Social. In his classroom and in the community, Adam Reagan proves himself to be a fierce advocate. He worked with the late Richard Elias to pass Arizona's first ever ban on youth conversion therapy, and he helped develop the TLC Youth Center. Tim Richardson is an associate broker with Habitation Realty ERA Powered. Tim is specialized in quick sales of distressed properties, representing banks and investors with foreclosure sales, foreclosure prevention, and broker price options. Isaac Rothschild is a managing partner at Mesh Clark Rothschild. He successfully helped businesses negotiate the bankruptcy process and negotiated multiple sales of ongoing businesses. Brian Schachter was born in Tucson and graduated magna cum laude from the U of A's Eller College of Management. He joined Watermark while still in school and has advanced through 6 positions.
Hello everyone, my name is Nayeli Pimentel. I've been a TV journalist for over 18 years in the Hispanic market broadcast industry, such as Univision, Telemundo, Azteca America. When I was 14 years old, my biggest dream was to come to America to work in networks such as Univision. I realized an urgent need on positive content in the media to help your community to make this world a better place for all. In 2004, I left my country and overcame many barriers and sacrificed everything to be here in USA. During this challenge, my mother was also undergoing cancer treatment for a 3rd time. For me, it was devastating. She gave me the courage, love, and thanks to her, today I became the founder of Nayeli Multimedia LLC and CEO of TV4O Social Tucson. Remember, to conquer a country or any professional project in life, it needs courage for what you are pursuing for. I am proud to be a U.S. citizen, and I am proud to be one of the next Southern Arizona Great Leaders for 2020 Award 40 Under 40.
My name is Tim Richardson, and I help people buy and sell residential real estate here in Tucson, Arizona. I'm an associate broker at Habitation Realty, and I suppose as a kid, I was always wanted to work on my own. I started out doing landscaping. I was going door to door. We were mowing lawns. I was making money that way, and then I figured out I could buy a candy bar for 33 cents and sell it for $1 out of my backpack in school, and I did that all through high school. So I guess I'm still doing that now. As an inspiration, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to seek out people with diverse backgrounds, especially diverse age. One of the best things I did here in Tucson was join the Rotary Club. I met all sorts of people, learned a bunch about the history of Tucson and lots of different worldviews. So whatever you can do to get out and meet people and connect with people that maybe don't share the same ideas as you, get out and do that.
When I was growing up, I wanted to be the second baseman for the San Francisco Giants. But today I work with families and businesses to use the law to create leverage in difficult financial decisions while co-managing a 20-person law firm. I've had the opportunity to lead 2 amazing community organizations, the Tucson Jewish Community Center and Arts for All. When difficult problems arise, whether they're based in the law or they're community-wide, respectful communication and collaboration is the way to get to the best result.
Hi, my name is Brian Schachter. Growing up, I've always been a huge sports fan, and my dream was always to be the general manager of the New York Yankees. Today, I'm the Chief Investment Officer for Watermark Retirement Communities. We're a national senior housing operator based here in Tucson, but we have projects across 21 states, and I head up all new business for the company. My message to friends, family, and the community is, I appreciate all the opportunity that I've been given, all the support throughout my life, and I look forward to continuing to give back to the local community throughout the rest of my life.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to our final group. Trevon Smith is a lifelong volunteer and community organizer. As her passion for positive change increased, she became more active in political organizing. Dre Thompson is the Executive VP of Startup Tucson, a nonprofit that supports entrepreneurs. Hector Treto is an entrepreneur who discovered a deep passion for helping his community that has given him so much. Edith Villalobos Zamora is the owner of EMV Design Build. Edith launched her business from the ground up in February 2015, and in 5 years has grown it to $1 million business. Melissa Zimmerman is the Vice President of Clinical Services for Jewish Family and Children Services of Southern Arizona, providing leadership in the development, implementation, and evaluation of all clinical programs.
My childhood dream was to be a mom and a teacher. I had a great example growing up. My mother and my elementary teacher were strong, caring leaders, and I wanted to lead like them, wisely and kindly. And now I get to. I'm a wife and mother of 2 teens. I'm the children and youth elder at my church, Southside Presbyterian Church. I'm also a collective member of the People's Defense Initiative, Director of Constituent Service for the Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick, Secretary of the Democratic Disability Caucus, and Treasurer of the Progressive Democrats of Southern Arizona. I get to give more to my community and work alongside folks and support their work to give to the community. So my message to the community for our future is one of heavy hope. There's been so much weighing us down in 2020, so much to hope for, though. This community is resilient. Like the desert and our ancestors, we will lead and thrive.
I'm Dre Thompson, the Executive Vice President of Startup Tucson. Startup Tucson is a nonprofit organization that helps entrepreneurs and small businesses achieve their dreams. What I'm really excited about and the message that I have for Tucson is as we walk through these challenging times ahead of us, that we continue to come together as a community and create a positive vision for where we want our city to grow. I want us to think about how we can be growth-oriented with equity and justice and access for all as key parts of where we see as our future. I hope that we can create a future for Tucson that young people can dream big and take risks and build a beautiful future and stay right here in Tucson.
As a kid, I wanted to be everything growing up, from Indiana Jones to James Bond, you name it. And what I took away from what I learned about them and the things that I was curious about growing up is what I'm passionate about now in my hobbies, traveling, experiencing different cultures, and being curious about the world in general. It's the same approach that I take in things that I do professionally, using my design background and helping businesses think outside the box, helping our youth be inspired and find their purpose and their passions. That's what Vibin's purpose has been ever since we've started 4 years ago, is to help and give back. And it's the same thing that I leave the community with. If I could give one thing, is if tomorrow you woke up and currency didn't exist, and the way that our value was measured is based off of our standards, our morals, the way we behaved, and how we treated each other, what would your value be? How much would you be worth? So kindness is the most important thing. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. Keep vibing.
Hi, my name is Edith Villalobos Zamora, and I am the owner of EMV Design Build here in Tucson, Arizona. My childhood dream was to become an architect, and in my career, I'm actually not too far from that. In my business, we specialize in ground-up construction and remodels, and we take a client from the process of designing all the way through to completion. Something I'd like to tell the community, especially our youth, is that when looking at your future, and if college is not the right path for you, there is a great opportunity in the trades. Whether you become a framer, a drywaller, an electrician, a plumber, these are beautiful trades that actually give you the lifestyle that you deserve.
Hello, my name is Melissa Zimmerman. My initial childhood dream was to be a ballerina. However, by the time I was 10 or 11, I realized that was likely not a lucrative career choice. I decided what I really wanted to do when I grew up was to help people. I decided pretty quickly I wanted to work with people who were struggling with mental illness. I had just started to learn about mental illness, how it affects people, because I had people in my life who were struggling with problems related to mental health. I decided I wanted to help those problems. Today, I'm the Vice President of Clinical Services at Jewish Family and Children's Services. I have the privilege of overseeing our behavioral health programming that provides much-needed therapeutic service to the local community. If I had one message to give to Tucson, it would be to never assume someone's doing okay just because they look like they're doing okay. Often what's on the inside does not match what's on the outside. We're living in a world with so much suffering right now, and people don't really have access to their normal coping skills and the people they would normally talk to. So the risk for mental illness and suicide has increased. It's crucial that we're checking in regularly with one another, making sure that we're okay, really okay, and that we're willing to ask tough questions if it means getting people the help that they need. We're all dealing with everything right now, and people are really struggling. So one thing we can do to help is just be more compassionate and patient with one another.
Good morning, everyone. It is such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this morning to honor the 2020 40 Under 40 honorees. My name is Dr. Cherie Meeks, and I was a 2018 honoree. What made that event so extra special, I remember that December morning at the Pima Air and Space Museum, I also found out that I was named Woman of the Year, which was really special and something that I do not let my husband forget because he was also a 2018 honoree for the 40 Under 40. But what made that extra special is that even to this day, 2 years later, my daughter still calls me Woman of the Year. Who am I to crush a little girl's dream of her mom? So I continue to let her think I am the forever Woman of the Year. I wanted to share with you what this honor has meant to me. It has opened so many doors and has allowed me the opportunity to share my vision in spaces that I was not always in. I hope that you recognize this honor being for you. It is special and it acknowledges the leader that you are and the work that you're doing to make our community a better place. But I hope it also empowers you to continue what you're doing, to see that what you are doing truly does matter. And I hope that it inspires you to find creative ways to reach more people. The fact that this wonderful event is going to continue to thrive even in a virtual setting is an example of its impact on our wonderful community. In 2020, we've experienced unexpected challenges from health pandemic to disruption in education to a contentious political climate and greater awareness of racial injustice. If there was a time, the time is now to do great work. The late Congressman John Lewis once said, "If not us, then who? If not now, then when?" Now is the time. And I want to encourage you all to continue to spread the positivity and the great work that you are doing so that it will trickle throughout our community, throughout our state, and more broadly into the world. Sprinkle it all around, sprinkle it to everyone you encounter. Our community is depending on you. Congratulations again.
Sí se puede. Sí se puede. There you have it. We've met all the 40 Under 40 honorees, and they are absolutely and without a doubt amazing. No. Increíble. We also heard an uplifting message from Dr. Meeks herself, a former honoree and Woman of the Year for 2018. And hey, I agree with your daughter, Dr. Meeks. You keep letting her call you Woman of the Year all year long, all lifelong. I agree with her. Thank you so much for your ongoing leadership and impact. Muchísimas gracias. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Do you know what time it is? I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Es hora para anunciar. It's now time to present the Man and Woman of the Year. This is a great accomplishment. Es realmente un honor ser nombrado Hombre y Mujer del Año. Our next presenters are leaders that know these individuals very well. We'll hear from Steve Holmes, Superintendent of the Sunnyside School District, Dr. Tessia Solomon, and Dr. Robin Harris. They will announce this year's Man and Woman of 2020. Let's hear from them now.
My nominee is an amazing educator. He came to the Sunnyside Unified School District, and quickly it became evident that he was a leader amongst our teachers. He has been advocating fiercely for the rights of our teachers, and more specifically to ensure that our students receive a great and high quality education. My nominee is also very involved in civic engagement within our LGBTQ community and working with our Cesar Chavez Coalition and many, many advocacy roles for children in our community. This nominee is well deserving of this wonderful recognition. And it is with great pleasure they announce the Man of the Year, Mr. Adam Reagan.
Good leadership requires brilliance, vision, innovation, and passion, but also compassion and selflessness, putting aside ego and the power to bring people together to achieve great things. Dr. Cordova possesses these qualities and more. I have known Felina for almost a decade now and seen her professional development from a graduate student to a respected scientist at the university, but also on the national stage. She is a prolific author and was recently published in the American Medical Association Journal of Ethics. She was invited to lead the development of the report on child health for the 2019 Arizona Town Hall. And she is a co-author on a paper on murdered and missing Indigenous people to be published in the Journal of the U.S. Department of Justice. But while off duty, she helped her underinsured patients apply for financial assistance through programs like the American Cancer Society. She once told me she hoped to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services one day. I have learned that Felina doggedly pursues what she wants and usually gets it. So I fully expect her to achieve this one day, and I can say I knew her when.
It was with great pleasure that I nominated this awardee for the 40 Under 40 Award. This nominee is currently a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Arizona Cancer Center, where she is studying the science of cancer health disparities with an emphasis on the caregiving process and its impact for American Indian families and cancer patients. I first met this awardee when she entered my office at the beginning of her doctoral program seeking a research project. While we were working on a project with the Hopi tribe, she had inspiration and excitement in identifying a distinct and separate route of inquiry around the caregiving process for the Hopi tribe. While it's obvious I think she is smart, and I have great faith in her having an outstanding academic career at the university as she is about to enter the next phase of her academic trajectory, I think what's more important has been her astonishing record of service to the community and to her community, and her willingness to be a mentor to a wide range of her fellow students and to those students who are coming after her. This leadership, I think, comes somewhat from her both willingness to be a leader, but also her astonishing organizational skills. She is one of those students or persons who comes to your office and has her agenda outlined in detail, her calendar is color-coded, and she knows exactly what the next things that need to be done are. But it is truly this organizational skill and then her willingness to put herself forward that has allowed her to develop at least 2 501c3 volunteer organizations, including the most recent that is focusing on COVID relief for urban Native Americans in southern Arizona. She managed to raise substantial funds that has provided groceries and supplies for over 100 families in southern Arizona, in addition to supplies to the Gallup Indian Medical Center. It is therefore with great pleasure and substantial pride that I announce this year's 40 Under 40 Woman of the Year, Felina Cordova Marks.
Wow, that was an amazing leading up to the Man and Woman of the Year. Isabel, we would like to take this time to congratulate each and every honoree. And the Man and Woman of the Year will start with Adam Reagan. Very well deserved, and congratulations again. Muchas felicidades. Isabel, take it away with Woman of the Year.
Absolutely. Dr. Felina Cordova Marx, a remarkable woman. We have to acknowledge all her work in the medical field, especially in these times. Congratulations.
And a special thanks to all our sponsors, the committee, Arizona Daily Star, presenters, corporate members, and special acknowledgements to those behind the scenes that made this event possible.
Of course, we are so grateful to the University of Arizona Government and Community Relations, Arlene Islas, production manager with the University of Arizona Communications Department, and the presidential events team at the University of Arizona ceremonies team for all their hard work and delivery in this first ever digital event. And I also want to thank our small but mighty team at the Tucson Hispanic Chamber who worked hard to bring this together and support with all our other partners. And a quick note, in March of this year, all our lives changed, our world changed. And this was daunting when you put an event like this together. Lots of organizations, including our own, made choices of what to do and what not to do to protect our community, the health of our community. When we faced this particular event, we challenged ourselves to work together, to pivot, to learn, so that we could bring together the stories of these incredible people. Because when you think about it, this year, as many have mentioned, it's time for leadership. It's time for people to work together, to collaborate. And we are so honored to have been able to be a part of this and share these incredible stories, and to have these wonderful leaders come and speak to these honorees and let them know how much their work matters.
Well, a big thank you, as you mentioned, Isabel, to the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who was honored to bring you the event with the support of our sponsors and the collaborative efforts of our community partners. So thank you for being a part of the celebrations, and save the date for 2021 because nominations will open on May 1st.
Absolutely.
Isabel?
Absolutely. You can pick up the Arizona Daily Star insert tomorrow in the newspaper. I also want to thank Luz Delia for emceeing this event and keeping us on track. What a wonderful job you did, keeping us all engaged and inspired in all the wonderful stories. We are so privileged to have been here.
No, thank you for having me. It was certainly an honor, and I feel privileged to be on the same stage with such brilliant and incredible people. And I will leave you with a quote that I heard earlier from Dr. Meeks. If not you, then who? We have a bright future ahead of us with incredible leaders. Congratulations to the 40 honorees, and of course, the Man and the Woman of the Year. Have yourselves a great day. Buenos dias, good morning, and go out and lead and change the world and change our community.